American soccer fans, welcome to episode 169 of the USA Soccer Cast. We bring you everything about the U.S. national teams, the players, the leagues, and everything else that impacts the game of soccer in these United States. I'm Donald Wine, and it is time to talk U.S. Soccer Federation ticket lottery details. We finally got them last night. A lot of people have started to get emails either last night or today. I have multiple accounts, so I got some last night and some today. And obviously, there's a ton of questions out there, and I want to get through the details of this ticket lottery so that hopefully it makes a little bit more sense. I'm not going to make entire sense and make it where there's a full clarity here, but I'm at least going off of information that I know, obviously information that I've received, and I can pass that along to you, the listener. I will also talk jerseys after the break, so stay tuned for that if you've already gotten to the ticket portal and done your application. But let's start first with the U.S. Soccer ticket lottery. Now, they sent some instructions on how this is going to work. They also sent some FAQs, and there was a couple people online who submitted questions. And so I will get to those questions at the end once I go through these. Now, there are two different lotteries here that we need to worry about. There's the main lottery for standard and premium and paid ticket insiders. There's also the supporters lottery, and I'll talk about that in just a second. But first, to get into the lottery for insiders, you get a unique FIFA Participating Member Association access code, a PMA access code. You must go into your insiders account either on the US Soccer app or on ussoccer.com and click on the portal for US Soccer Insiders to get that code. And once you fill out your application, standard insiders will need to complete a $1 verification on their credit card. That helps prevent bots and duplicate accounts. And also, it ensures that your credit card is working so that they can charge it if you are successful. Again, in your insider's profile, your PMA access code should be available. And if it's not, you got to contact US Soccer to get that refreshed. Once you're verified, your code can then be used to apply for tickets directly on FIFA's platform. So that's FIFA.com/tickets is where you're going to actually submit this application. Now, how to apply for tickets? The application window is open right now until 11 a.m. Eastern time on January 13th. So that is a week from today as I record on Tuesday, January 6th. So from now until 11 a.m. Eastern time on Tuesday, January 13th, the application window is open. Your insider tier and your tenure will be locked at that time for draw purposes. So you are able to upgrade your insider's membership if you wish until January 13th. But at 11 a.m. on January 13th, everything locks, and whatever you are eligible for as far as entries and additional bonus entries based on your tenure, based on your tier, will lock at that time. Now, we understand this is a quote from US Soccer. We understand that ticket pricing is an important topic for fans. Please note that all FIFA World Cup ticket prices are set by FIFA, not US Soccer, end quote. So as we go through these, I know people have heard about the $60 tickets. I will talk about how those apply in a minute. But first, this is very important for the insiders draw. On FIFA's official ticketing platform, you will be able to select tickets in 3 tiers: Premier, Standard, and Value. Fans can apply only for tickets in one category per match. So you can't do a value tier, standard tier, and a premium tier for the same match. You can only pick one category per match. And you may only apply for 2 tickets per match. Now, in the main FIFA application window, which also closes at 11 a.m. on January 13th, you are eligible to apply for 2 more because FIFA allows you to have a total of 4 tickets per match. You will be able to apply for both the FIFA lottery and US Soccer's lottery to get to that total of 4. But of course, it's not guaranteed that you will be picked. And it will not be guaranteed that your two tickets will be next to each other just because they're under the same application. I hope that makes sense. So you apply for your games, and instead of it being a conditional thing where you get one ticket for all the games all the way through the final, they're doing it by game. But if your application is selected by US Soccer, FIFA will automatically charge the card on file sometime between February 2nd and 23rd, 2026. They will also notify both successful and unsuccessful applicants directly. Now, these are the US Soccer. Now we're talking about the US Soccer conditional match tickets. These tickets are contingent upon the US advancing to those applicable matches, that being in the knockout stage, round of 32, round of 16, and so on. If you are selected in the draw, your card will be charged to hold those tickets. But make this note: if the US does not advance to that match, your card will not be refunded immediately. Per FIFA policy, you will receive a full refund by the end of the calendar year 2026, not by the end of the tournament, as they were kind of doing in previous World Cups and Women's World Cups. This time around, if you pick, for example, a US match ticket for the final, and the US does not make it to the final, you do not get an immediate refund for that ticket. You will be refunded sometime before December 31st. So please, please hear those words and keep that in mind when you are deciding which tickets you want to apply for, because obviously I'm not going to be the one to tell you to float tens of thousands of dollars for tickets that you may not get. That is something that is entirely dependent on your budget, your family's budget, your friend group's budget, whatever you guys decide to do. But make that note: any of these tickets that you get that are part of matches that are conditional, that being the knockout stage, whether it be the round of 32 game should we finish first in the group, or the round of 32 game that we if we finish second, or one of the third place ones. If you get tickets to one of those games and we do not advance to that particular game, you may not be refunded until December 31st, 2026. So again, please keep that in mind. I wanted to repeat that so that everybody understood that. Now, as I mentioned last time we got some information from US Soccer about this lottery, I mentioned that there had been no updates on whether there would be any bonus entries or any priority given towards members of the three main supporters groups for US Soccer: American Outlaws, Bar 76, and Sammers SC. Well, there is one. And of course, FIFA recently announced that there is a supporters entry tier ticket category that will be $60 tickets that will be available to participating member associations. US Soccer has decided to allocate those tickets exclusively to members of the American Outlaws, Bar 76, and Sammers through a private supporter group draw. And they're doing that basically, quote, recognizing the passion and commitment of our most dedicated fans, end quote. So for people who are a member of one of those three groups, listen up. This is how it's going to work. As a member of one of those groups, you are eligible to apply for tickets through both the supporter group ticket draw and the insiders ticket draw. Both of them, both applications will be done through FIFA's official ticketing platform. And by submitting a FIFA ticket application using your unique access code, which you will be emailed for if you are not an insiders member, you will be automatically entered into both ticket draws. Okay. So if you are a member of the American Outlaws, for example, I am a member of the American Outlaws. I have multiple memberships for people, but I received an email that has a PMA access code specifically for that supporters draw. So please check your email if you are a member of one of those groups using the email that you use for your membership. Check your spam filter as well, because sometimes they go there. And if not, then you contact US Soccer about that, because they have a whole list of all of us that were members of one of these three supporters groups at a specific date. I don't know what that date is, but that was submitted to US Soccer. They then use those email addresses to draft to send these emails to. So if you did not get an email and it's not in your spam folder, contact US Soccer, tell them what email your membership is, and you will be able to hopefully at that point get your PMA access code for this supporter draw. The winners of the supporter group ticket draw will be selected first, giving supporters the chance to access the $60 supporter entry tier tickets. Those who do not win will be entered into their respective insiders ticket draw, which is the standard draw or the paid draw. So please see ussoccer.com for more information on the insiders ticket draw and the waiting. Now, supporter group members who are also premium insiders or above will receive an extra entry into the supporter group draw and thus greater access to supporter entry tier price tickets. So if you are a US Soccer Insiders VIP member and you are a member of Bar 76, you will get some extra entries into this supporters tier draw. So that basically is giving you the reward of being a member of both. Now, supporters will obviously, again, have until January 13th to upgrade their insiders membership tier for their extra entry to be accounted for in the draw. So if you are not a premium member of insiders, you are able to buy up essentially to that tier, whether it be premium, VIP, or above, and your supporter group entry will also receive that extra entry. So there's still time to do that if you choose to do so. So how do you apply for tickets? If you do not have a FIFA account using that, you log in. You either log into your FIFA portal, you create an account, you enter your PMA access code, you select the UST matches that you wish to enter for. There's no limit on the number of matches. But again, you have the group stage and you have the knockout matches that are contingent on advancement. You then select your price ticket category. This will only be considered if you are not selected for the supporter group ticket draw and are entered into the insiders ticket draw. So if you get picked in this supporters group ticket, you get the $60 ticket. If you're not picked and you get picked later on in the insider one, then you may get the categories that I mentioned above: the premium, the standard, and the value tiers. Again, applications open until 11 a.m. on January 13th. Things to know, this is according to US Soccer, before submitting your application. Again, I'm reading a lot from this email here so that I don't fumble over it and also so that you get the direct information that they're sending us. The unique access code will be available one time, one application use, and cannot be shared or transferred. So if you're not using that email address, you can't use that PMA access code. Again, on the ticket application, you'll be able to select matches and ticket categories, and they're only taken into consideration if a supporter does not win the supporter group draw and is entered into the insiders draw. If you are selected in the supporters group draw, you automatically receive the $60 ticket access. For both insiders and supporters group draws, each applicant may apply for or receive exactly 2 tickets per match. Again, I mentioned that FIFA allows you to have 4 for a match, but even with the $60 supporters tier, there's only going to be, you can only get 2 of those per match for the first game, for the second game, for the third game, and so on. The supporters entry tier will not appear as a selectable option on the FIFA ticket application. Let me say that again. The supporters entry tier, the $60 ticket point, will not appear as a selectable option on the FIFA ticket application. By submitting an application, you will automatically be entered into the supporter group draw, which is the access to purchase tickets at the $60 price point. So you fill out the application as you normally would as if this thing doesn't exist, but because your email is on this list, you will be entered into that draw, so you don't have to worry there. You will first be notified if you were successful in the supporter group draw. If successful, US Soccer will reach out to collect payment for the tickets won in the supporter entry tier. If you're not selected, but are selected in, or if you're not selected in the supporter group draw, but are successful in the insiders draw, FIFA will automatically charge the payment method provided in your application for all matches somewhere between February 2nd and 23rd of this year. So be aware of ticket prices when you're completing your application, because if you are successful, you may hear from them, but you will automatically be charged for those tickets. FIFA will notify both successful and unsuccessful applicants directly in mid to late February, with actual seat locations to be confirmed at a later date. And again, on the FIFA side of things, an individual may purchase a maximum of 4 tickets per match through a combination of any FIFA draw and through U.S. Soccer's allotment for the same match, so long as they do not exceed 4 tickets per match and 40 tickets for the entire tournament per household. So it sounds like per household, you get 4 tickets per match. Now, again, I have not entered this lottery yet. The few lotteries that they have done so far, they did not ask for app addresses. They just asked for email addresses. So it sounds like every account hopefully will be able to get up to the max. Again, in the US soccer draw, 2 tickets per match. If you're doing it directly through FIFA, you could get it up to four. So now that is the details that have been sent in multiple emails from US soccer about their various lotteries. I did get some questions online, and I want to go through those one by one because, again, these are some questions that will hopefully be answered. At least the clarity will be less like mud and more like a light brown liquid, if that makes sense. Adam Brito, my man Adam, he writes, and his question is, can I still do U.S. Soccer Lottery along with my already entered FIFA application? Won't that be like a double application because I'm going for all the same games? So that's a great question. And this email did not do much to clarify that. It sounds like, according to U.S. Soccer, that if, let's take the game in Seattle, for example, against Australia on June 19th. It sounds like, according to U.S. Soccer, you can apply through U.S. Soccer for 2 tickets to that match, and you could also apply through FIFA directly for 2 other tickets to that match for a total of four. But before this email came out, the answer was, when asked about this, if you won through one of those lotteries, the other tickets would be canceled in the other lottery that you applied for. So if you won two through the US Soccer, your two that you applied for through FIFA would be denied. But it sounds like they're allowing you to combine applications as long as you don't exceed 4 tickets per match. So if you apply for four through FIFA and you get it, then your US Soccer option gone because you already have 4 tickets. What I would suggest to you, Adam, is this: what I am doing, and again, this is your mileage may vary there because I know I Adam and I know each other very well. You know, he has a family. He wants to try and get to tickets to all these games, but I think the idea is what I'm planning on doing is applying for all the U.S. games through U.S. Soccer and any other game I want to go to through FIFA. That way, there's no discrepancy. I know that only leaves me with 2 tickets to a U.S. game, but that's better than zero, first of all. And I feel like if we need more than that, we'll figure out how to get more than that, whether it be through other applications or people who've already gotten tickets or what have you. So tickets are always going to be out there. They're going to be available. It's just about the price point that you wish to pay for them. But I'm not going to have the same game on both my US soccer application and my FIFA application because I feel like they like I said, they may be considering that a double application, and I'm not going to test them on that. I'm not going to give them any opportunity to deny either of my applications because they had the same game on them. So I'm going to do U.S. Soccer games through U.S. Soccer. Any other FIFA game I want to go to through FIFA. Now, the conditional tickets through U.S. Soccer, yes, I'll do that. I'm not applying for the final, so to speak, through FIFA because that game's super expensive, and maybe I could get in at a lower price point. But I think for me, if it's like Netherlands, Japan, or something like that, I'll apply through FIFA for that. If it's a U.S. soccer game or a potential U.S. soccer game where I could sit in the supporter section, that's where I'm going to go. I'm going to go to U.S. soccer for that. The next question comes from Aaron Silverman, and Aaron goes, "I can only apply for 2 tickets? Question. So bringing my kids is not permitted." Well, first of all, bringing your kids is permitted, but again, I'm a single person. I don't have kids, so I don't have to worry like you do about getting more than 2 tickets. 2 tickets is one more ticket than I need personally, and of course, I can always find a legion of friends who would come with me. But yes, Through US Soccer, you can only apply for 2 tickets. Again, if you apply directly through FIFA for US Soccer games, you can have a total of 4, a max of 4. So I don't know how many kids you have that you're trying to bring, but that's the question that you have to debate with your family. Now, can you and if you're married, if you're able to apply for 2 tickets through your significant other, sure, you're absolutely welcome to do that. But yes, every account, every application on the U.S. Soccer website, or I'm sorry, the U.S. Soccer draw can only apply for 2 tickets. 2 tickets max per game. So, Aaron, you may have to pick a favorite kid. I'm only joking there. But yes, 2 tickets per game, maxed on the U.S. Soccer side. For everything else, you got to consider FIFA for extra tickets that you may need. And the final question I have comes from John at JohnMark93 on Twitter. And he asked, will this lottery give access to the $60 tickets? And I mentioned ahead that yes, the supporters entry tier draw, the supporter draw, is going to be the one that has the $60 tickets. And if you are selected in that draw, you will only get the $60 tickets. So it's a question of at least for the final, I'm sorry, for the opener, for example, the lowest ticket price outside of the supporter lottery is $1,200. So your question is going to be, hey, do I, 60 versus 100 or versus 1,200 is a big difference. And, we were hoping that the opener and really all these games, but especially the opener and games beyond the group stage would be a lower price point, but they're not. And we can yell till we're blue in the face, but that's what it is. We hate it. I hate it. I hate that it is causing people to have to make these decisions. But everything has a price, and this is what FIFA said. I don't like it. And maybe just maybe they will see the error of their ways and change. But you can't count on it at this point because that's what they're putting out there. So for this particular thing, again, if you're in the supporters lottery, just take my application for example. I apply for 2 tickets to the opener, and I get it, and I get picked from the supporters entry tier. I get $60 tickets to that game. Yay me. But if I don't get picked, then my application automatically proceeds to the insiders ticket draw, where you have these tiers of which, for the opener, for example, the ticket price starts at $1,200. And at that, I will say, crap. My $60 ticket became a $1,200 ticket. Now, that price point, the disparity between the price points is a little bit less for the other 2 group stage games and even beyond that. But that, again, something to keep in mind. And if that means that you decide not to apply for the opener, but apply for all the other games, then sure, you could do that. But again, it's just that's what they're saying is going to happen. You can either get $60 tickets or you can get these more expensive opener tickets that they're charging everybody. And if you don't get the $60 tickets. So that's what it is. John, thank you for the question. Aaron, thank you for the question. Adam, appreciate you and thank you for your question. And these are all the details we have for the US Soccer Lottery. Again, you can always send me questions via our social media at USA Soccercast on Blue Sky or Twitter, and I'm happy to answer them to the best of my ability. I just want to repeat this part. The lottery application window closes at 11 a.m. Eastern Time on Tuesday, January 13th. Do not wait till the last minute. Sometimes these portals are weird, and especially for this one, they've already received so many applications for tickets already. The system will get bogged down as you get closer to that deadline time. So don't wait till the last minute, but also make sure you have a plan before you go in there and apply. And as always, may the odds ever be in your favor. I really hope everyone gets the tickets that they want for these games and are able to experience this World Cup that's coming to our shores in just under 6 months. We're going to take a quick break here. On the other side, my prayers finally might be answered. Are we getting a return of the Waldos for the 2026 World Cup? We're doing Jersey Talk after this.
Live CBS Sunday. Hollywood's biggest party is now bigger than ever.
Perfect. No notes.
The Golden Globes, with more stars, more glamour, more chaos, and more host Nikki Glazer.
We're gonna laugh at the celebrities that can take it and completely ignore the ones who can't. I'm just kidding. They're not safe either.
The Golden Globes, live CBS Sunday, 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific, and streaming on Paramount Plus.
Hey everyone, are you looking for the latest gear for your U.S. national teams, Major League Soccer, the NWSL, or any other team in the world of soccer? The USA Soccercast has affiliate partnerships that are ready to help you out. Head to linktree.com/USA Soccercast, where we have links to Homage, Fanatics, the MLS Store, and Breaking Team. You can get the jersey, shirt, hat, or accessory you're looking for to support your team, while also saving some money and helping this show in the process. Again, linktree.com/USA Soccercast. Click on the links and get your gear. And we thank you as always for your support of the show. We are back and we shift our attention to jersey talk. Why? Just talked about tickets. Why are we talking about jerseys? Well, the United States might be reviving an iconic look for the 2026 World Cup. Yesterday, soccer jersey outlet Footy Headlines revealed what reportedly will be the design for the 2026 World Cup home jersey for the United States. And the horizontal stripes made famous by the 2012 Waldo jersey are the inspiration for this design. Of course, the Waldos center around a waving inspiration of a waving U.S. flag, but this particular jersey would feature an off-white kit that has red and deep red undulating stripes going horizontally across the torso. You have the U.S. Soccer crest on the left chest. It's not in the middle like we've seen on some of these leaks. The Nike swoosh is on the right chest in navy, and navy blue apparently appears on the collar and sleeve cuffs as well. And it creates a vintage look that gives both teams, the U.S., I know we're talking about the World Cup here, but the men's national team and the women's national team will also wear this jersey. It gives our national teams an amazing look, and it helps, not just celebrate the World Cup that's going to be here starting in June, but it also commemorates the 250th anniversary of the Declaration of Independence and the birth of the United States. It's that vintage flag look that they're going for here, the off-white, creamish, brownish type of kit, as opposed to a bright white stripe, is kind of like those old, the very old revolutionary flags that you see nowadays that had the mud, that had the dirt, that again were a little bit more vintage and rustic, if you will, for lack of better terms, on the flag. I will also note that this design process for the 2026 jerseys began back in 2023. So I've already seen online links to the current geopolitical climate. That's just a false flag and a huge reach. This is something that the vast majority of U.S. soccer fans have demanded for a very long time. And we should be happy that U.S. soccer has finally decided to listen. Of course, again, arguably the most popular jersey that U.S. soccer has ever produced was the Waldo jerseys back in 2012, which served as the Federation's jersey for 2 years until 2014. It was also mimicked with the release of the 2017 third jersey that was exclusively worn by the men's national team during the Gold Cup, and also featured blue, navy blue, and red stripes as opposed to red and white. And the 2018 jersey that was largely forgotten because the men's national team failed to make the World Cup. That one was that American Airlines looking jersey with the light blue stripes that turned into a red stripe at the end. Again, a beautiful jersey, but everyone looks at that and sees this World Cup that we didn't make. When the U.S. hosted the 94 World Cup, their home jersey was not the denim jersey that most people attribute to that World Cup. It was the bacon jersey, right? The one that had the vertical undulating stripes. And both of these jerseys, both the 2012 Waldos and the 1994 bacon jersey, are the nostalgia that U.S. soccer seems to want in this 2026 offering. if this jersey turns out to be true, and more than a couple of people have said privately to me that this is what's coming, which, it's the hope that kills sometimes, but hope I have. But let me tell you guys something. All of you out here who know me or who have listened to this show more than a couple times, whenever Jersey League come out, they know, and you know, that I am the co-founder, president, CEO, and COO of the Waldo Should Be U.S. Soccer's Jersey Identity Club. I've been on the train since 2012 when these jerseys came out. I wrote about it in 2017 about how this jersey should be the identity for the United States soccer or our national teams. You can read that. I reproduced it for the District Press, so go check it out. It's on their website now, so you can read through that in its entirety. I spent months creating that article, and it's arguably the best article I've ever written. But I've preached to the top every mountain, and from the base of every valley, I've prayed for this daily. I've wanted this for so long. It's the perfect identity for our national teams, and I want this to happen so, so bad. And if this turns out to be true, and like I said, I got credible people telling me it could be, this will easily go down as the most popular jersey in U.S. soccer's history. You could call that hyperbole, but the Waldo jersey is still the most popular. And you know what it didn't have? It didn't have the backing of a World Cup on home soil to add to its legacy. This is what this can be. And I'm glad that, again, as the biggest tournament, the biggest soccer sporting event ever in world history, that will be this summer's World Cup, coming to our shores along with Canada and Mexico. We've seen Mexico dip into that nostalgia, and I'm glad that we're doing the same. And I think this will be a jersey that will represent, and it will go down as one of my favorites if this becomes true. Between the World Cup tickets and this jersey, if this comes out, and the away jersey, if it comes out to be just as fire, and we've heard talk that maybe there's some denim involved in it. I don't see that happening, but this home jersey will carry me through, and my wallet is going to need to do some stretching. And for those of you out there, I need a new job if I'm going to afford all these tickets and all these jerseys. But we'll see what happens. They're supposed to be announced in March, but who knows? We've started to see a lot of leaks lately. Maybe Nike pushes this up. They should have done it before Christmas so that this would have been an easy Christmas gift for so many people. But they also want the lead time for them to sell all these jerseys, because if the Waldo jersey comes out, I promise you I'm getting at least 4 of them, 5 of them maybe. Who knows? As much as my wallet will allow, and maybe not allow. But that's just the question that I have in my mind as I pray daily for this to happen. That will do it for episode 169 of the USA Soccer Cast. Thank you for listening. Remember, you can find us on Blue Sky, Twitter, and YouTube. Follow us on all of these sites at USA Soccer Cast. Subscribe, rate, and review our shows. It helps us get in front of new people, and it's greatly appreciated. Tell your friends about us, and then finally head to linktree.com/USA Soccercast to check out our affiliate links and our new stimulus store. We have everything you need to watch the beautiful game and follow your teams, and using those links also helps support the show. We'll talk to you again soon, y'all. Peace.